Chapter 29. The fire talent is a special talent, and it is an offensive talent that directly increases combat power. The most feared thing for the wind wolf and others when hunting fierce beasts in the wild is to encounter this kind of fierce beast with special talents. This kind of fierce beast is only a little more valuable than other fierce beasts, but it is more than a little bit terrifying. Judging from the aura, this fierce beast is still at the low-level fierce beast level. This is good news. The wind wolf comforted himself. All of them stepped back, their faces nervous. Yi Tian, you know this fierce beast. What about this fierce beast's flame talent? Asked the wind wolf. Inferior flame talent, Yi Tian said truthfully. Inferior flame talent. Then the flame of this fierce beast can increase its attack power by 2 times. The fierce beast is stupid and has a single attack method. We can kill it. The martial artist retreats in the early stage, you can't intervene. The wind wolf said. Several martial artists retreated far away in the early stage. As the wind wolf said, their strength was too weak. Not only could they not help, but they would add to the chaos. Phew, the wind wolf took the lead and tried it. The fire-breathing lizard attacked the wind wolf, but instead of using its fire-breathing ability, it bit him hard with its mouth. Boom! Wind wolf's knife collided with the Charizard's teeth, sending the Charizard flying out of the way, and one tooth flew out. Yi Tian stood aside and watched, estimating the strength of the fire-breathing lizard. Charizard has about 9,000 caddies of strength. The flame attack power is equivalent to 18,000 caddies of strength. The limit strength of the warrior is 10,000 caddies of strength. Plus the attack power under the increase of Yuan force can reach 20,000 caddies. Although the attack of the wind wolf cannot reach more than 20,000 caddies, it should not be too much, enough to deal with this Charizard lizard. Seeing that the wind wolf was able to deal with this fire-breathing lizard, Yi Tian had no intention of breaking out his true strength. Roar! The fire-breathing lizard was hurt by the wind wolf and finally activated the fire talent. Boom! A huge fireball formed, shooting towards the wind wolf at a breakneck speed. Slash! The wind wolf, mixed with the sword of Yuan Li, formed a sword chi, breaking through the air and slashing towards the fireball. I saw that the sword chi broke through the fireball and continued to slash towards the fire-breathing lizard. Bang! The sword slashed at the fire-breathing lizard, injuring the fire-breathing lizard again. At this time, Yi Tian and several other martial artists also made a move in the middle of the period and launched an attack on the fire-breathing lizard. After a while, the fire-breathing lizard died under the joint efforts of the group. Haha! Isn't it a big deal to have a ferocious beast with special talents? Said a warrior after killing the fire-breathing lizard. Don't be careless. Maybe there's more than one fire-breathing lizard in this valley. Yi Tian admonished. Wind wolf listened to Yi Tian's words, his face became even heavier, and he didn't have the excitement of hunting fire-breathing lizards. Yi Tian is right. We just entered the valley and encountered a fire-breathing lizard. Maybe there are fire-breathing lizards in it, and there is more than one. Damn the Lin family, they assigned us a task without investigating the situation, and even divided the area with special fierce beasts for us to clean up. The wind wolf was angry. But he knew that the Lin family wouldn't care about them, and it was useless for them to complain. I've come here, and it's impossible to retreat. Everyone, pay attention to the situation. After the wind wolf admonished, he moved on. Soon, they encountered another fire-breathing lizard, and after some fighting, killed it. Soon after, 2 fire-breathing lizards appeared. This time, wind wolf and the others entered a bitter battle, and at the cost of minor injuries, they killed the 2 fire-breathing lizards. And at this time, they were on the outskirts of the valley. It's already certain that this valley is completely a fire-breathing lizard's nest, and there must be a lot of fire-breathing lizards in it. If we continue, we're going to have to kill a lot of people. The wind wolf said tiredly. After fighting again and again, his Yuan force was seriously consumed, his physical strength was also seriously consumed, and his combat effectiveness had decreased a lot, and it was no longer possible to kill a Charizard lizard alone. To continue to move forward in such a state is to seek death. Retreat first, and then we will talk about repairs. The wind wolf proposed. Where will other people have opinions? They are also afraid. The group walked out of the valley, but just as they were about to leave the valley, they found that the entrance to the valley was stopped by a dozen fire-breathing lizards. Oops! The wind wolf was desperate. With the strength of their squad, they are now reluctant to deal with one fire-breathing lizard, and if they face 10 fire-breathing lizards, they will inevitably be wiped out. Help! The Wind Wolf took out the distress device and sent out a distress message as he retreated. However, a lot of distress messages were sent, but none of them were replied to. Damn, we must have a team led by elite martial artists within 10 kilometers, but these guys all ignored my pleas for help. The Wind Wolf said angrily, Captain Wind Wolf, don't ask for help anymore. There won't be anyone to help us at all. Yi Tian said, Hey, I know it too, but I'm still holding on to a bit of luck. It seems that I'm underestimating human nature. The Wind Wolf sighed helplessly. By this time, 10 fire-breathing lizards had already rushed over. In terms of speed, the fire-breathing lizard is only equivalent to the middle stage of the warrior, and if the Wind Wolf in the late stage of the warrior escapes, it is very promising to escape. But if he runs, the others have no hope of living at all. Many of the people here are his subordinates who have been with him for more than 10 years, and their feelings are very deep, and it is impossible for him to leave them alone. If Satsuki is here, with Satsuki's archery skills, maybe we can contain the fire-breathing lizard, and we will be able to have more hope of living. Wind Wolf had this thought in his heart. But soon, he snuffed out the idea. Xiao Yu of the Wind Wolf hunting team is very young. Although he is a talented martial artist in the early stage, he is very good at archery, and he is a child of a big family, and he has a good future, and it is absolutely impossible for that big family to let Xiao Yu participate in such a very dangerous mission. And he didn't want Satsuki to be in danger, otherwise he wouldn't be able to go. Because of this, he refused Satsuki's joining. And at this moment, Satsuki is probably being taken care of by her family. Seeing that the fire-breathing lizards were getting closer and closer, the Wind Wolf, whose thoughts returned, made a decision in his heart. I'll stop these fire-breathing lizards, you run away. A resolute intent erupted from the Wind Wolf, instantly infecting everyone. Captain, let's fight with them. A warrior stepped forward and said, Yes, fight with them. Others are not cowardly. However, the last warrior to join was not a warrior of the Wind Wolf hunting squad, and he had no belief in living and dying together at all, so he was ready to escape. Guys, fight these fire-breathing lizards, I'm sorry. With that, he fled towards the interior of the valley, intending to find a place to hide first. Shameless, someone scolded. The Wind Wolf didn't care about the martial artist, but looked at Yi Tian. Brother Yi Tian, you are very talented. It's a pity to die here. You can run away too. Yi Tian smiled slightly and said, Don't worry. We don't have to die. It's just some fire-breathing lizards. As he spoke, Yi Tian's body exuded the aura of an elite martial artist. Chapter 30. Elite Warriors. The Wind Wolf looked at Yi Tian in shock and couldn't believe it. Elite martial artist is his lifelong goal. But he knows how difficult it is to become an elite martial artist, and it is too difficult for him to become an elite martial artist with only primary cultivation talent. Even a genius with medium cultivation talent can only be expected to become an elite martial artist in his 20s at least, when cultivated with sufficient resources. But what about Yi Tian? How old is he? He is already an elite martial artist. Advanced cultivation talent. The Wind Wolf had such a thought in his mind. This is a talent at the same level as the ancestor of the Lin family, and in the future, he will inevitably become a great martial artist, and he has a little hope of becoming a realm above the great martial artist. At the very least, he can also become the peak of the great martial artist and become the strongest in the coastal base. It is an honor for such a genius to appear in their team, and to be able to make friends with such a genius. Yi Tian moved, and the speed was so fast that the Wind Wolf couldn't catch it. I saw that after a while, the 10 fire-breathing lizards all died under Yi Tian's knife, and all of them were killed in seconds. Lord Yi Tian, Wind Wolf said respectfully. Lord Yi Tian. Others also bent down. Elite warriors are far more powerful than warriors, not only in strength, but also in terms of reaction, speed, and total amount of yuan force. Even an elite martial artist with a body strength of 10,001 jin is much stronger than an extreme martial artist with a strength of 9,999 jin, and the two are not at the same level at all. In the past, they thought that Yi Tian was just a martial artist and could still call Yi Tian brother. But now that they know that Yi Tian is an elite martial artist, they are naturally more restrained and dare not call themselves brothers and sisters. You don't have to be so restrained, just call me Yi Tian. But I am an elite martial artist. I hope you will keep it secret for the time being. Yi Tian said, then I'll have the courage to call you by your name. Wind Wolf smiled and said, don't worry, we won't tell anyone that you are an elite martial artist. He knew why Yi Tian wanted to hide his cultivation, and it was estimated that he was afraid of the several major families in the Linhai base. Maybe when Yi Tian's talent is exposed, those big families will win over and make friends, but it is difficult to guarantee that some families will not kill Yi Tian out of jealousy. Even if there is only a trace of possibility, they must be eliminated. Once Yi Tian grows up, those families are just local chickens and dogs. The fate of Zhang Ben. That's when it happened. A scream could be heard in the distance. It's Zhang Ben. The Wind Wolf frowned. Zhang Ben was the warrior who had escaped just now, apparently having encountered other fire-breathing lizards. The Wind Wolf had the heart to rescue him. After all, he was part of their group and also a martial artist. But Yi Tian stopped the Wind Wolf. Wind Wolf, there's no need to save this person. You won't reveal my secret, but that person might. The Wind Wolf's expression froze, and then he looked at the expressions of the others, and then remained silent, obviously ruling out his plan to save Zhang Ben. The screams quickly disappeared, representing Zhang Ben's death. Wind Wolf, let's move on, and try to clean up the beasts in this valley as soon as possible. Yi Tian proposed. The Wind Wolf nodded. If there was no Yi Tian, he would naturally not dare to clean up the fierce beasts in this valley, but with Yi Tian here, it would be different. An elite martial artist was enough to deal with a group of fire-breathing lizards. The crowd advanced, and soon found Zhang Ben's corpse, with several fire-breathing lizards gnawing on it. Yi Tian casually killed these fire-breathing lizards and continued to move forward. Along the way, whenever there were more than 2 fire-breathing lizards, all of them were killed by Yi Tian alone, and only when one fire-breathing lizard appeared, Yi Tian would let the Wind Wolf and others practice their hands. In this way, Yi Tian took the Wind Wolf and the others to the depths of the valley. The Alpha Lizard. Here, Yi Tian found a large number of fire-breathing lizards. On top of a boulder, Yi Tian looked into the distance and saw no less than 30 fire-breathing lizards, and these 30 fire-breathing lizards were surrounding an even larger fire-breathing lizard. That's. Yi Tian's expression was slightly solemn. He was far away, and although he couldn't see the talent of the huge fire-breathing lizard clearly, judging from its body size, which was far more than 3 meters above that of an ordinary fire-breathing lizard, its strength was definitely not a low-level fierce beast. It should be an intermediate beast. Yi Tian guessed. Ordinary mid-level fierce beasts, he doesn't care at all, but a mid-level fierce beast with an attacking talent, it is definitely the overlord of the fierce beasts. It's a bit of a problem. There are 30 fire-breathing lizards there, and there's a suspected mid-level beast. Yi Tian told the Wind Wolf and the others about the situation he saw. What? The Wind Wolf was shocked. The fire-breathing lizard of the intermediate fierce beast level must be extremely powerful, and the average elite martial artist is definitely not an opponent. Yi Tian, let's go. It's a big deal to give up the task. The Wind Wolf gritted his teeth. Coming here, he was definitely unwilling to give up, but he also knew the terrifying nature of the mid-level fierce beast-level fire-breathing lizard, and he didn't think that Yi Tian was the opponent of the fire-breathing lizard. After all, no matter how high Yi Tian's talent is, he has only just been promoted to an elite martial artist. How can he be the opponent of an intermediate fierce beast with flame talent? Wind Wolf, I'm not that weak. Fire-breathing lizards have a special talent, fire talent, and I also have a special talent. Yi Tian revealed a little and said, You also have special talents? The Wind Wolf was horrified. A martial artist with special talents and a martial artist without special talent have a completely different status. An elite martial artist with special talents, even a great martial artist attaches great importance to it, and does not dare to offend easily. That's right, I have a primary speed talent. I can triple my speed, and my sword skills are good. It won't be a problem to kill that mid-level fierce beast. I'm going to carry out a decapitation operation. Don't get close, Yi Tian advised. He was sure to kill the mid-level fierce beast, but he was not sure to protect the Wind Wolf and the others. In case the Wind Wolf and the others don't listen to persuasion, it will be troublesome. Yi Tian, let's retreat far away. You should also be careful. If you really can't, leave, said the Wind Wolf. I understand. Yi Tian nodded. After the Wind Wolf and the others left farther away, Yi Tian took action. Speed talent. Yi Tian turned on the triple speed increase and rushed towards the fire-breathing lizard group at an incredible speed. And at this time, the leader of the fire-breathing lizard who was sleeping also woke up in the roar of his subordinates, and a pair of huge pupils stared at Yi Tian. It's going to kill the little bugs that disturb its sleep. That's right, in its opinion, Yi Tian is just a little bug.